Hello, everybody. So, it has been interesting to notice so much changes that has been happening throughout the last, I think, at least a month or two, because I've been like really taking the time to just reflect, to just turn off, like take a step back from a lot of people, take a step back from a lot of external stimulation to notice like how much of this is taking an effect on our mental health, but also on the creativity. And one thing I noticed, especially because I have been to this, there's like this digital detox retreat in which you don't use your phone at all for at least almost a week, and it felt such a profound down to earth experience, because you just realize that you don't really need this external stimulation. Like, I didn't have the urge to go and check Instagram or go check Pinterest or my email, or you get what I mean, like to find the next piece of inspiration. Like, do we really need to search for the next thing in the next 5 to 10 minutes? Do we really need to check Instagram for that new post? Go on explore page or go on reels, to doom scroll. And that's what I want to touch upon in this video, like what I've learned not only from this detox retreat, but more like my overall summarization of it. Being bored, practice of non-doing. You see, for me, I always have the urge of wanting to go and check for the next inspiring thing. Let it be on Instagram, YouTube, Google, whatever, Pinterest, all of these external stimulations and also sounds. But when I was at this digital detox camp, because it's so as well silent, there was also people you could talk to. I felt such stillness within the mind in which I didn't need to search for the next thing, and that to me was quite new, quite unique in its own, to share or not share, to show that in order to draw or in order to design or in order to create at least more of a personal projects or those kind of things, because possibly for commercial things you do need to check, okay, what's your not competitors, but what other people are doing, so that you can make something that's new. But it showed me that I don't necessarily need to explore all of these things on these external platforms in order to be able to just create from within. But of course, what you are creating from within, somehow it came from somewhere that you have looked at, right? But then what if we go, maybe if we have possibility, go more to museums, like actually getting out of the house or getting away from the square looking computer or screen that we always browse through, or browsing through our phone to find inspiration. What if we actually go and record a bird that is flying, if that's like what we need for our next project, instead of looking it up. I mean, it's easy to, of course, explore on the internet. That's why we have it. But it's just that we are losing the opportunity for wandering, to allow ourselves to also be bored, to be still, to notice, And that's what I've been trying to invite myself to do now in the past 3 to 4 weeks after I came back from the digital detox retreat, to just allow moments of stillness, moments of wandering, moments of just being bored, to be with it and see what comes out of it. As it is out of boredness that a lot of things we have now has been created. And in the world we are now, we are always looking for the next stimuli. Now, well, digital detox was interesting. One thing I didn't notice, it's not something in which you could easily do alone unless you are extremely introverted, because then you're already by yourself at your place. or in your house, hopefully. And it is much easier to do as a group of individuals, that has kind of great energy once you are together. you know it's not for everyone, that's for sure, but it is still a practice in which you could try in your everyday to day life. For example, maybe you say after 6 p.m. you no longer browse on Instagram, or you are off of anything that's like social related on the online world after 6 p.m. and just connect more in the physical world. Like those kind of practices in which I'm trying to invite myself to do more, which has been quite fruitful from from my experience recently. And yeah, this is something I'm doing more to as well, is to go analog. I think for me, that's something that I've been trying to do more as of recently. And this is something I also learned from the book Still Like an Artist, where the author has a desk for more, digital, because everything that somehow when you put it on a computer is like already going into the mentality of finalizing, because you have like all these tools to make perfect work, like Illustrator or Photoshop, Control Z and all this stuff. But if you're analog, you just have like a desk where you just have like these analog tools like pencil, paper, pens and stuff. You are much more able to freely explore, and that's what I noticed as well. For example, I have been starting this is a new practice, because I used to do a lot of design, but now I don't do it. I've been doing a lot more painting, but I felt like I've been missing that. So for example, I've been doing things like this inside of this notebook, in which I just allow myself to explore with rulers and different ways of composing a piece on a reasonable sized paper. And it has been quite interesting to do this kind of practice and to reinitiate the love for design again, as I've been doing more painterly work. It's nothing wrong with painterly work, but that's also something I've been trying to do more of in a more of a traditional setting rather than remaining digital, as I've been doing more digital illustrations than traditional painting. And now I'm doing more of acrylic paintings. For example, this is a piece I'm currently working on, and yeah. So it has been quite the experience to learn more about like all of these stimulations that we are getting from our devices, but also from the things that surrounding us, right? As I were at the camp, there was like no external sounds besides the sounds of nature. Like I say external sounds, what I categorize external sounds is more like music, like a lot of cars on all this kind of stuff, in comparison to being like in an extremely silent environment where you just are able to hear nature, hear the water, hear the rain, hear the animals. And that's like the kind of environment I was in. So it allowed my mind to just be present and give itself the space needed that I haven't, give it to wander. And this is the reason why always when we are in the shower, we are able to get those kind of aha moments, as our mind is no longer having to work 24/7. It's like a little moment of peace, to be at ease. Granted, you can do this everywhere, but yeah, if you're able to do so, consider these type of things, consider being bored, to watch the clouds, to daydream, and consider having like 30 minutes time or 15 minutes or even 5 minutes of just non-doing, and see how that can but to see how that can evolve your creative work ethic, and yeah, this is what I've learned for now. I'm pretty sure there's more things I could have said, according to my notebook. Let me check once more. But that's it. Thank you for watching, and continue creating, continue having fun, and have the space for wonder. Take care. Bye.